A glimpse beyond. My near-death experience, a journey that changed everything. It was an ordinary day. At least, that's what I thought. The kind of day that slips by unnoticed, lost in the rhythm of routine. The sun hung low in the sky, casting soft hues of orange and pink over the horizon, painting the evening with a quiet beauty that I barely acknowledged. My mind was elsewhere, preoccupied with the weight of life. Bills, deadlines, responsibilities, an endless stream of worries that seemed to define my existence. I was driving home, the road familiar beneath my tires, yet fate had woven an unexpected thread into the fabric of my evening. Then, it happened. A sudden flash of headlights. The screech of tires. The world spun violently, metal twisting, glass shattering. And then, silence. A silence so absolute it felt as though the universe had held its breath. The moment of departure. At first, there was only darkness, vast and consuming. But then, a sensation, weightlessness, as if gravity had surrendered its hold on me. The pain that should have been there, the agony of twisted metal and broken bones, was absent. Instead, there was an overwhelming stillness, a peace that felt both foreign and familiar. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in my car. I found myself suspended in an expanse of radiant light, more brilliant than anything I had ever seen, yet strangely gentle. It didn't blind me or burn, it embraced me. It wasn't just light, it was warmth, comfort, and an invitation all at once. I looked down. Below me was the wreckage of my car, a crumpled heap of metal. And within it, my body, lifeless, motionless. Yet, despite the sight, there was no fear, no desperation, only an undeniable sense of calm. I was separate from the broken vessel below. As I drifted higher, the light grew brighter, filling the space around me. And then, I saw him. The encounter with Jesus. He stood there, not as an apparition, but as a presence more real than anything I had ever known. His form radiated light, not just around him, but from within him. His eyes, they were unlike anything I could describe. They held eternity within them, yet they looked at me as though I were the only soul in existence. There was no judgment in them, no condemnation, only an ocean of love so deep, I felt as though I could drown in it and never want to come up for air. I didn't speak, but I didn't need to. In his presence, words were unnecessary. Everything I was, every thought, every doubt, every regret, was laid bare before him, yet I felt no shame. Only understanding. Then, my life unfolded before me, not as a series of memories but as a revelation. The life review, it wasn't just a replay of events. It was deeper than that. Every action, every decision, every word spoken rippled outward, affecting people in ways I had never realized. I saw moments of kindness I had long forgotten, simple gestures that had made a difference in someone's life. But I also saw the pain I had caused, the careless words, the selfish choices, the missed opportunities to love better. And yet, through it all, Jesus stood beside me, not with disappointment, but with love. "You have lived," he said, his voice like a melody woven with authority. But do you understand what it means to truly live? I couldn't answer. Not because I didn't want to, but because my soul was wrestling with the weight of his words. The truth about sin, then, he showed me something else. Sin. Not as a list of wrongdoings, but as a force that separates. I saw it for what it truly was, not just mistakes or moral failures, but walls we build between ourselves and God, between ourselves and others. It wasn't just about breaking rules, it was about breaking connection. I saw how small acts of selfishness, pride, and anger weren't isolated moments but threads woven into the fabric of reality, affecting others in ways I had never comprehended. But there was no condemnation in his gaze. Only longing for me to understand the truth. I did not come to condemn the world, but to save it, he said. And in those words, I felt the weight of the cross. Not as a distant historical event, but as a living, breathing reality. The cross and redemption. The cross stood before me. Not an image, not a symbol, but real. I saw his suffering, his wounds, his sacrifice. And in that moment, I understood. His death wasn't just for humanity as a whole, it was for me. Every burden I had carried, every mistake, every wound I had inflicted or endured, he had taken them upon himself. His love bore the weight of them so I wouldn't have to. And then, he showed me something even more humbling. The power of forgiveness. I saw the faces of those I had hurt, not to shame me, but to help me understand. I felt their pain, the ripples of my actions reaching further than I had ever imagined. But I also saw the power of forgiveness. Both in giving it and receiving it. Healing wasn't just about seeking forgiveness from God. It was about reconciliation, about making amends, about restoring what had been broken. Jesus smiled gently. Now you know, but your time here isn't finished. I didn't want to leave. The love, the peace, it was home. But he had a purpose for me. A mission. Go back and tell them, he said. Tell them about my love, my truth, and the life that awaits beyond this world. With those words, everything shifted. The light faded. The warmth withdrew. And suddenly, I was gasping for breath. The harsh beeping of hospital monitors, the sterile scent of antiseptic, the weight of my broken body, it all crashed into me at once. I was back. Surrounded by doctors and nurses, my body aching, my lungs burning. But I was different. I had seen. I had known. The transformation recovery was slow, both physically and emotionally. But the experience had etched itself into my soul. I couldn't return to life as it was before. I began to live differently. I valued relationships over possessions. Moments over milestones. I sought to heal the wounds I had caused, to extend the grace I had received. Sin is real, but so is grace. And the chasm it creates can be bridged, not by effort, not by good deeds, but by the love of Christ. A love that forgives, that restores, that transforms. A new beginning. I no longer fear death, because I have seen what lies beyond. It is not darkness, but light. Not an end, but a beginning. And I will spend the rest of my days sharing that truth. Because that is why I was sent back. To tell you.